Time travel? Check. Weird biological experiments? Of course. Low-budget nightmares that somehow feel bigger than most Hollywood sci-fi? Absolutely. This is a list of Canadian sci-fi movies that are genuinely worth your attention. We're starting things off with Beyond the Black Rainbow, a film that's as unsettling as it is beautiful. Set in the 1980s, the plot follows a disturbed doctor working inside a New Age scientific research facility, where he keeps a telepathic woman captive. As she looks for a way to escape, his behavior becomes increasingly erratic, pushing the situation further into nightmare territory. Visually, it's pure psychedelic sci-fi, with a retro 80s look that makes even ordinary images feel eerie. The story is deliberately confusing, and it's worth being prepared for the ending. Almost nothing is clearly explained, and the film fully commits to abstraction. But if you're ready for that, Beyond the Black Rainbow is a genuine hidden gem. You can't really make this list without David Cronenberg, and Scanners had to be here. The story centers on Dr. Paul Ruth, a scientist working for the International Security Corporation, CONSEC. He runs secret research on scanners, humans with powerful telekinetic abilities who can even control other people's minds. CONSEC sees them as potential weapons in the world of international espionage. Those plans begin to collapse when Daryl Revok, the most powerful scanner, breaks away and starts building an underground group of scanners with ambitions far beyond the company's control. In response, CONSEC turns to Cameron Vale, a scanner who had no idea about his abilities until now, and uses him in an attempt to stop Revok before things spiral even further. It's a true cult classic of the 80s sci-fi, and even if you've never seen the film, you almost certainly know the head explosion scene. It's all practical effects, the kind of thing you simply don't see made this way anymore. This is a film I really should have included in my apocalypse movies list, and a lot of you pointed that out in the comments. So let's fix that here. Directed by Don McKellar, Last Night is set in Toronto on New Year's Eve 1999, just hours before the end of the world. The exact cause is never explained. It simply feels like an inevitable global event, something everyone has known was coming for a long time. The film is quiet and human, built around small personal moments. People share final meals with their families, try to reconnect, or make quiet plans to end things on their own terms. There's even a darkly funny moment with David Cronenberg playing a power company executive who personally calls customers to reassure them that the gas will stay on until the very end. Despite its premise, the film is unexpectedly comforting, suggesting that even at the end of the world, basic humanity can still win out. If movies without happy endings don't scare you, I've got another one. Radius. This is a very low-budget indie sci-fi film from 2017 that quietly slipped under the radar. What it lacks in money, it makes up for with a strong central idea and a very high body count. The story centers on Liam Hartwell, a man whose presence is lethal. Anyone who comes within a certain radius of him dies instantly, as if attacked by forces outside of nature. Wherever he goes, death follows. Things change when he meets Jane Doe, the only person able to neutralize his deadly field as long as she stays close. Inevitably, fate intervenes. Separations and confrontations lead to even more deaths as the two slowly uncover the truth behind their abilities. They learn they're the result of a cosmic anomaly, and that Liam is a serial killer connected to Jane's past in a far more disturbing way than expected. A small movie with big ideas. James versus his future self takes one of the most literal setups imaginable. James meets James, an older version of himself who's traveled back in time to stop his younger self from inventing time travel in the first place. Future James warns present-day James that his obsession with time travel will ruin his life. In trying to reach the past, He completely lost touch with the present, and now he's back to prevent the same thing from happening again. It's a smart twist on the time travel formula, built around a very small cast that makes it easy to stay invested. The concept does most of the work, and it really works. Every teenager dreams of being a superhero. Very few would be willing to survive a post-apocalyptic wasteland to make that happen. That's exactly what Turbo Kid is about. Set in an alternate 1997, where society has collapsed and water is the most valuable resource left, the film follows a young boy who takes on the name Turbo Kid and forms a scrappy group of heroes to survive the wasteland. The movie leans heavily into the spirit of old-school action adventures. The fight scenes are big, the costumes are bright, and the colors pop against the dusty wasteland. The characters are, in the best possible way, very quirky. Monroe Chambers makes the kid an easy protagonist to root for, awkward and nerdy, but never annoying. He's surrounded by equally memorable side characters, including a robot girl named Apple and an arm-wrestling cowboy. It's much bloodier than you might expect from something this playful, but it somehow fits the tone. At just 95 minutes, Turbo Kid moves fast and never wears out its welcome. The kind of movie that knows exactly what it is and fully commits to it. Based on Second Variety by Philip K. Dick, Screamers uses the original idea as a starting point rather than a direct adaptation. The film is set in 2078 on the mining planet Sirius 6b, where a civil war is underway between a resistance group called the Alliance and a powerful corporation known as the New Economic Bloc. The battlefield is littered with AI-controlled weapons called autonomous mobile swords, or Screamers, named for the high-pitched sound they make when they attack. The machines evolve into increasingly disturbing forms, and paranoia quickly takes over. Colonel Hendrickson, played by Peter Weller, grows more suspicious of everyone around him, as it becomes harder to tell who is human and who isn't. Screamers may not be the smartest Philip K. Dick adaptation, but it's tense and often a lot of fun. This is a 90s classic. Cube begins with a group of strangers waking up inside a massive structure made entirely of cube-shaped rooms. Each room connects to 6 others, and some of them contain traps, all of them deadly. The goal is simple: survive long enough to find a way out. As they move deeper inside, the cube's scale becomes clear. It's a massive structure made up of thousands of rooms, and every assumption about how it works gets people killed. And by the way, there are 2 more Cube films, a sequel and a prequel, but the original works perfectly on its own. Back to Cronenberg. eXistenZ is unlike pretty much anything else, built around a video game designer who may or may not end up as a character in a game she may or may not have created. If that sounds confusing, it is. The film gets a strange kind of pleasure out of messing with what you think is real and what isn't, constantly playing with your expectations. It can be frustrating, but it's also genuinely entertaining for exactly that reason. And of course, it's full of "what the hell is that" moments. Alien pod-like things, guns made out of flesh, and a steady stream of bizarre imagery that only Cronenberg would commit to. Under all the weirdness, the film is really about the relationship between humans and video games, which naturally invites comparisons to Videodrome. The ending pretty much flips everything you've seen on its head, and it might be the most mind-bending moment in the entire film. Cruel and Unusual is a surreal sci-fi thriller that could probably use a bit more humor and sharper execution, but it's still a solid film for what it is. The story follows a man named Edgar, who wakes up in a strange facility and is told he's dead. He's also told he's been condemned for murdering his wife, and before he can move on, he has to face what happened by reliving it. It's intriguing right from the start, and it keeps throwing Edgar into unsettling situations as the film moves forward. Along the way, it drops in a few clever twists and turns that keep you watching. The film isn't without its flaws, but it's worth your time if you like bleak sci-fi.